Welcome to the Toronto Police Service's technical briefing regarding the new release of the Shooting and Firearm Discharge Open Data. Today's briefing will be providing an introduction to the various elements that exist on the Public Safety Data Portal regarding this data, as well as a demonstration for how to access all the information. The Toronto Police Service provides up-to-date shooting information on the Public Safety Data Portal through open analytics to help support recognition and collaboration on community safety and well-being issues. The importance of collectively addressing gun violence in Toronto has driven this release of the shooting information. Shooting and firearm discharge open data can be found on the Public Safety Data Portal at the link on the screen, which is data.torontopolice.on.ca. All shooting data provided on the portal includes both shooting events where a person was injured as well as firearm discharges. Before we dive in to the content available on the portal, it is important to go over some key terms that you will come across while using the tools and products that are available. First off, a shooting event is described as any incident in which a projectile is discharged from a firearm and injures a person. Secondly, we have firearm discharges, which are defined as any incident where evidence exists that a projectile was discharged from a firearm, including accidental discharges, celebratory fire, drive-bys, etc. There are three important time periods that must be understood when interacting with any of the products on the Public Safety Data Portal. The first one being year-to-date. Year-to-date refers to the time period beginning on January 1st of the current year up to and including the present date or date as indicated. The same time period may be applied across multiple years in order to determine trends over time. The year-end time period refers to the full year period beginning on January 1st and ending on December 31st. This time period may be applied again across multiple years in order to compare year-over-year changes and trends over time. And finally, the historical time period refers to all available data from previous years. The open data release of shooting and firearm discharges consists of several components designed to meet the standards of open data provision and increase open data literacy through open analytical tools and supporting documentation. Now you're able to download the open data for shootings and firearm discharges from the open data section of the portal. This data is provided at the occurrence level where every record in the dataset represents a shooting-related occurrence. Each row includes a count of death or injuries where applicable, and the dataset is updated in the first quarter of each year. This dataset also includes information about when and where these events occur, and events are offset to the nearest intersection to protect privacy and confidentiality. The Toronto Police Service provides open analytics to aid in visualizing and understanding community safety information. These interactive visualizations provide trend analysis and important information at a glance. Shooting-related events are reported in three reports, including year-to-date, year-end, and historical reports. A brief overview of the dashboards available. We have first, the year-to-date dashboard, which is updated every Monday with data from January 1st of the current year up to the previous day, which would be Sunday. This report displays data for the last 6 years. The next report is the year-end report, which provides a snapshot of the previous year, and it's updated during the first week of the new year. This report also displays data for the last 6 full years. And lastly, we have the historical report, which is updated upon the release of the shooting open data, which is scheduled for the first quarter of every year. This report will display data for all available years in the dataset. It is important to note that open data for downloading is not available for year-to-date reports. The open data is provided to the public for awareness and reporting purposes only due to the dynamic nature of police information. The Toronto Police Service also provides web mapping applications to visualize data spatially. These dynamic and interactive web mapping applications allow users to visualize crime and traffic data where it occurs. Web mapping applications associated with downloadable open datasets are updated upon the release associated with that dataset. So firstly, we have the Tps Crime App. The Tps Crime App year-to-date application visualizes the shooting-related events in an interactive mapping application. This application is updated twice daily and provides data from January 1st to the previous day for the current year. You can customize the information displayed on the web maps by filtering the data using criteria such as date range or police division, or selecting a custom area of your choice. Secondly, we have the Crime App Year End. This app visualizes the open data shooting-related events through an interactive application. You can customize the information displayed on the web map by filtering the data using criteria including date range, neighborhood, or police division, or selecting a custom area of your choice as well. And lastly, the Neighborhood Crime App visualizes all crime data by rate per 100,000 of the population through dynamic and interactive thematic maps. These maps are based on the year of release of the data. You can customize the display of different crime layers, and a layer displaying the shooting-related events by neighborhood is now available. The Shooting and Firearm Discharges open data includes supplementary documentation to assist in open data literacy, understanding of community safety information, and to promote the use and application of open data. The open data documentation is provided as a downloadable PDF document. We've also provided a video and story map as other additional resources. The open data documentation includes descriptions of all open data available in the Public Safety Data Portal, including metadata, data qualifiers, and a glossary of terms in this document. The video provides a brief introduction to all of the shooting-related elements available on the Public Safety Data Portal, including how to navigate to each one. And lastly, we've created a story map to summarize the highlights of the shooting firearm discharge data from 2004 to 2020, including both statistical and spatial trends. So now this concludes the introduction to the data, and I will move on to the demonstration. When you navigate to the Public Safety Data Portal by going to the link that was mentioned earlier as data.torontopolice.on.ca, it will bring you to this homepage. From this homepage, there are notifications that are updated with the release of data. So as you can see here, we have the new update of the shooting and firearm discharges. And from this page, you can access all other related elements regarding shooting and firearm discharge open data, as well as all other open data that is available for download. From the Open Data Navigation tab at the top, it includes all of the data sets here. And if you click on this, it will take you to a search feature, which brings up shootings and firearm discharges at the very top. And you would click on this, and you would be able to download the data in both a CSV, KML, or a shapefile format. So just to show you as a quick demo, it'll download the file here. And we'll open the file in a CSV format. From here, there's also links or descriptions of the information, including the definitions. You can preview the data. And there are also elements of being able to filter the data and sort for any year of reference. So if you were only interested in downloading data from 2014 to 2020, you could add your filter here and then download your filtered spreadsheet here. The next element, as we've discussed, is the open analytics associated to shooting and firearm discharges, which can be found under Data Analytics and clicking the navigation button here. We wanted to also highlight that there are all of the definitions regarding shooting and firearm discharges available through the click of this button. Similarly, the definitions of all the time periods that were described in the presentation earlier are also noted here. There are also links to the shooting firearm discharge data set here, as well as links to all related maps and access to the supplementary documentation here. All data analytics and open analytics dashboards are provided and embedded into this page. So as you scroll down, you can see all three dashboards that we have. We have the year-to-date, the year-end, and the historical dashboard at the bottom. For your reference, you can also expand this into a full screen by clicking the arrows on the bottom, and it'll open it up in a larger screen so that you can navigate and filter through and visualize the data in an easier to see manner. Additionally, these 3 links at the top will also do the same, exporting it into a full screen for you to visualize. We have the access to the maps from the navigation tab at the top, where if we open up, for example, the Crime App year-to-date, it'll open up the Crime App into a new application page. And once it loads, you have access to all of the data that we have provided, and this is updated twice a day. You scroll down here, you can select to visualize the data that have happened for shootings in this map. On this query at the side, you can filter based off of different crime types, as well as police divisions. So for example, I can choose shootings for 12th Division, and it will apply the filters and give you a zoomed in visualization of the information for that location. Similarly, you can access the year-end app from that navigation pane as well, and it will open in a new tab. And agree to the terms and conditions. And again, visualize the data for the previous year in the application and filter through the queries on the side for your reference or preference. These apps are not specific to shooting and firearm discharges. As you can see, all other major crime indicators are available in this application, as well as bicycle thefts. So for the supplementary documentation, I'll just show you briefly what that looks like. It'll download it into a PDF and open it in your downloads. And you can scroll through, and there's detailed descriptions of all the information that is included, as well as field descriptions, and a glossary of terms can be found at the very end of the document. So this is all of the information pertaining to shootings and firearm discharges. Similarly, the same way that you can access shooting and firearm discharge data, you can also access the open data and data analytics for major crime indicators and bicycle thefts. So for example, major crime indicators, data analytics can be found on this page. The similar buttons are all located on every data analytics page at the top to navigate to the data, to download the data sets, to access the applicable maps, and as well download the open data documentation. You scroll down to the bottom, we have the major crime indicators historical dashboard, which is updated with the open data set. And lastly, for bicycle thefts, we have this page as well. This one does not have year-to-date weekly updated dashboards at this time, but we do provide a dashboard that summarizes the open data that has been published on the portal, which can also be accessed by clicking on the open data page here, and all data sets can be downloaded from these buttons. I think this concludes the demonstration for today.